To our big question tonight, why doesn't Pakistan put its own house in order before pointing fingers at India? And to talk about it, we have in our studio tonight Kamar Agha, senior journalist and visiting professor at the Jamia Millia Islamia. Welcome to the show, Kamar Agha Sahab. First of all, isn't this a case of the pot calling the kettle black, where Pakistan is contriving to call India a kettle?
Yeah, you're right, absolutely right. They're deliberately doing because the situation in Gilgit and Baltistan is extremely precarious, very bad situation, you know. I mean, hundreds of people are sent to the jail, repressions are taking place, torture inside the jail is common practice of the Pakistani army establishment. And, you know, now their language, their culture, and their civilization is under threat.
And the same situation is there in Balochistan as well.
Even worse.
It's even worse.
Equally bad, because these are the people, both the people, Gilgit-Baltistan, occupied Kashmir, as well as Balochistan, then northwest frontier province.
And these are uprisings that haven't started like just a few years ago. It's been going on for decades, since the time Pakistan came into being.
You know, since then, Balochistan is basically an occupied territory. It was occupied by the Pakistani forces, like the Gilgit-Baltistan and other part of the Jammu and Kashmir, which they have occupied in. Similarly, you know, in 48, after establishment of Pakistan, almost a year, and they have occupied Balochistan. You know, Baloch never wanted to be part of Pakistan. They were happy with India, and because of the distance, you know, they said, okay, you know, if you are partitioning, then we'll opt. They wanted to be independent state. Balochistan is a complete independent. I mean, they have a different food, they have a different language, they have a culture, they have their own, you know, thousands of year old civilization which they have, you know. So they wanted to separate, you know, and Jinnah tried to, you know, incorporate them into the Pakistan. Jinnah went personally and tried to persuade them. They said no. Then finally the army went and occupied them.
Okay.
And now, you know, can you imagine, just a few days back, you know, few weeks, 2 weeks I think back, you know, 70 lawyers were massacred inside the hospital. You know. Can you believe it? You know, their you know, Bar Association president was killed.
Yes.
And then, you know, the people rushed to the hospital, and there, you know, the bomb blast took place. So this sort of situation, you know.
And what's happening in Sindh now, in Karachi? Because the MQM has been up in arms.
You see what is happening, Karachi and other places also. They have taken a strategic decision now that no secular party would allow to exist in Pakistan.
Because MQM at one time represented the interests of Mahajis, the people who came from India, shifted to Pakistan. But the MQM is a wider political entity now.
You know, they try to, you know, incorporate others also.
So what's happening with the Sindh in
leader
Karachi?
Lives in London.
He's under self-exile.
Yes, he's in.
Because the army and the paramilitary forces went after the entire leadership.
Otherwise, he would have been killed long ago. You see, Pakistan, you know, the total control.
Even now, sedition cases have been registered against Baloch leaders because they spoke in favor of what the PM said.
So many, you know, many of them are inside the jail, languishing in jail. Some of them have fled the country, and others are, you know. What is happening, you know, new situation, you know, which has emerged over the year with the Pakistan-China economic corridor. That is a major bone of contention now, because what is happening, Gilgit, Baltistan, large number of Chinese have come and settled down. They are brought by I mean, they are building dams and roads and rail connectivity. They are trying to develop, you know. As a result,
that too is being opposed by the people
because
there.
Their land was confiscated. And secondly, you know, most of the people employed in these projects have come from outside. And the third thing, the electricity or water which they are, the electricity which they are going to generate over there would go to other areas, like Punjab and other areas, you know. So they are not going to benefit by these development projects. So that's why they are opposing it. Similarly, in Gaudar, That's a part of the Balochistan where China is building a deep port.
Do you think global opinion, we've seen the statement from the US State Department, but global opinion has turned against Pakistan, not just because of the fact that it's sponsoring terrorism in different parts of the world, especially in its neighborhood, not just India, elsewhere as well. Bangladesh is one example. And now, even the US, there is a cost to what Pakistan is doing, because it's not just about the State Department, the military aid that it was getting, it has been affected.
United States is Pakistan is a very trusted ally of the United States, non-NATO trusted ally, for that matter, But look at what is happening over the last several years. Pakistan have taken a strategic shift, move towards the China.
Yes.
And ignoring the American interest in the region, continuing to support militancy in Afghanistan, Central Asia, and many other, even in Bangladesh, as you mentioned, And then, the relationship has worsened between the two, United States, is not releasing its funds to the army, They refused to $300 million, which they were supposed to get it last month, but they denied. They said, no, nothing doing.
Yes.
They haven't, they said that it is not up to the mark. They have not fulfilled the
because they've not
obligations.
acted against the Haqqani network.
Haqqani network and other things. There is a duality in Pakistan system. They took almost 13 or 14 billion dollar since last 12 years, from Americans, and on the promise that they will contain militancy.
Yes.
Whereas what has happened, the militancy has extended. Afghanistan. Former President Hamid Karzai was here in just a couple of days back. He again said, what is happening. He blamed, openly, the Pakistan is responsible for what is happening in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Then Abdullah, their chief executive of Afghanistan, he has also blamed. The President Ghani has also accused. Now Bangladesh also accusing. Central Asian republics, are worried about the growing militancy in their region. All these militancy, is going across the border. Across
Do you think,
just
just like the US seems to have burnt its fingers with Pakistan, there will be a time when China will also realize that it's been backing the wrong all-weather friend that it seems to call Pakistan right now?
I don't think they will succeed in this, their endeavors, but the plan, the development plan, because law and order situation is so bad, The Balochistan, where they're building the port, deep sea port, which is already there, where they want
in
Gwadar, Then entire Balochistan, is up in arms against the Pakistan and the Chinese. Similarly, this one road.
And things are not moving forward on the ground as fast as they should.
Even in Gilgit-Baltista, the situation is very bad. They are also opposing. Now the government is trying to build special forces to protect. How long army can protect, these roads or the railway network or their dams, and I mean, it's not possible. I think they must be now thinking, rethinking must be done there, because it's a $46 billion investment. And for that, it's not only the Gilgit-Baltistan, because there are dozens of other militant organizations which are also opposing Chinese presence in their areas, which they don't want. They want to establish a pure Islamic state. They say Chinese are infidel, we should not accept. And these are the ones who are supporting militancy in Chinese state of Xinjiang region. So I don't think...
In this scenario, what should India really be doing at this stage? Because we still have an invitation for our foreign secretary to go to Islamabad.
You see, there is not much change in India's policy towards Pakistan. We want peace, we want negotiation.
But we're talking about taking Pakistan-occupied Kashmir back. We're talking about the issue of Balochistan.
So this is an old resolution passed by the parliament, It's a unanimous resolution.
In 94.
94, way back, We are
but Balochistan is slightly uncharted territory.
Balochistan, he has only thanked and concerned about the human rights situation. Balochistan is, in fact, the Afghans are very active there because they are concerned, or they are very angry with Pakistan, because Afghan Taliban Shura quota is based on Quetta, so they are the ones who are supporting the Taliban insurgency. No,
Okay.
India is not supporting that.
Hmm.
Second thing, the most important thing, is that, this type, India wants peace with Pakistan, but there are certain conditions. You have to stop infiltration, respect the LOC, line of control, or the Seema Rekha, which we call it, and, close down the shivers which are operating in
The terror camps.
Militant camps, where the training is being provided.
Basically, stop exporting terror and justice.
And justice,
Yes.
and come to the negotiating table. We are willing to discuss all outstanding dispute. But you have to respect Simla Accord. You have to respect the Vajpayee, Nawaz Sharif,
Yes.
Lahore Accord. You have to do that. You are committed to do that. And we believe it's a bilateral issue. So stop raising these issues in United Nations and other forums, because that is not going to serve any purpose.
Let's see how Pakistan responds, because for now the ball seems to be in Pakistan's court. If it wants to set things right, it needs to act right as well, start acting right at least. Thanks a lot for joining us, Qamar Agha, this evening to talk about the situation inside Pakistan and the territories that it governs by force. We're taking a short break at this point. Up next, we'll be talking about the BJP putting its head together for strengthening its organization nationwide, and also lending another edge to its campaigns, its strategy for the poll-going states. Stay tuned to Newsnight.